Hi guys, welcome to another session where we will be discussing on ERP solution. Today we are going to be looking at Sage 200 evolution. How do we get started with Sage 200 evolution? So Sage 200 evolution is one of the few solutions that allows for a demo on their platform. So you can actually have a demo or a training platform where you can practice or carry out some of your transactions so you can make a decision if you are going to procure the solution or not. I know Olumide and I work with Pinmetrix Limited. So let's get started with Sage 200 evolution. At point of installation, you can be required to drop the icon, that is the Sage 200 evolution icon on your desktop, which makes it easier for you to just double click on it, then enter your login details. Or you have to go through the login, go through the program files where you need to search for the application itself. For instance, let's do this. So if I search for Sage or I type in evolution, I have the Sage evolution icon for me to click on. But I'm going to be using the one on the desktop by double clicking on it and the login page pops up. So when the login page pops up, you have to enter two important information, which is the username, otherwise known as agent, and as well the password. So you have opportunity to enter these two things for you to have access into the Sage evolution. By default, when you install this application, it gives you a default login as an administrator, which is admin as the agent, then password as admin as well. So case sensitive for password, but for the agent or the username, not case sensitive. But capital letter A for admin, then Y others is small letter. So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to show you how to log into it, but I think I have changed mine, so you might not be seeing that, but by default that's what you should have. So for you to be able to log into the application, if you are not an admin user or if you are not the admin given the access, it means that you have to be created as a user. So for you to be created as a user, admin would have to log in and create you as a user. So we are not looking at how to create a user here. We are only trying to see how to get started with the Sage 200 evolution. So let's just navigate around the login page. I've explained the agent, I've explained the password. So you might want to have your password or your login details saved. So you can have this saved by ticking on this. It means that at every point in time, when you want to log in into the application, you don't need to supply the password anymore. Because you have supplied it there, you can tick this as saved. But the risk about it is if any user take your system and try to log into the system, it means the person have access to your login information, not login for information, at least login using your profile to log in and maybe perform some other transaction. So that is one of the disadvantages there. So if you know you don't leave your system to other users, it is you alone, then I think you can use this feature within the application. Then default profile, you can have a default profile. It means that you don't need to choose any of these again. By default, this will become your default profile. So let me explain what this company's database has. So for you to be able to work on the Sage evolution, it means that you must have a database created. So, and that database must sit on an engine, which is Microsoft SQL. So you can have your Microsoft SQL installed, and it has to be pointing to a particular SQL server. So you could have different SQL server and at the same time different database. The most important thing is if you have license for them, then you can use them without any issue. So that is this. Let me talk about this side of the string. You have the locate. What locate does is it allows you to locate a particular database on an SQL server. So which means for you to be able to work on an SQL server, this is what I'm trying to say, you must have the SQL server details. You must have the details, then you must have the SQL server authentications as well. So let's say I'm not talking about SQL here, but let's just pick one of these for instance. So you can see there are different SQL servers here which this system had been able to log in to previously. So that is why you have these options here. You can search for yours if it has actually been installed on a separate server or on the same system. That is for the SQL server. Then you drop down the company name, maybe after selecting, let's say this, after selecting your server. Let me just use this for instance to see. So if you look at this for instance, I should have, you can see I have different database enabled on this system. I can decide to choose something else that I have access to. I think those are just the only thing. Let me try this as well. Okay, so you can see I have all this as well. Then you just click on next. That is just the function of the locate. Then to edit means that there could be a reason for editing the profile of your SQL server. Maybe the password of your SQL server was changed, or the database no longer reside on that SQL server and you need to select it, or you need to modify it to point to another SQL server. So this is just for modification. It's the same thing you're going to see here. So it's just for modifying either the SQL server name or the company name. You want to select another company in replace of that. So this is just for modification. Then remove means you want to remove whatever database here, whatever the company database here, you want to remove it from your system. It doesn't mean that you are removing it from the SQL server. You're only removing it from your own system so that you don't have access to it, or you don't, maybe the database has just been redundant there and it's not useful to you, then you decide to remove it. That's what it means. Then new means that you can actually create a new database. So rather than you locating from an existing database that is pointing an existing database, this means that you want to create a new database. So we're not looking at creating a new database here. We're only looking at how to navigate into the Sage evolution, which means the database already exists. So I'm going to be going through this. Then I have my password entered thing. Okay, let me, so I'm going to change this password. I think that's for a different place. Let me just put this. So I have that, and I say okay. Let me see. Now, because I'm using what's it called, a demo license, that is why I have this. I told you earlier that the system allows for 30 days grace period for you to navigate to see what Sage 200 evolution can offer you and how best to make use of it. You can actually use that to see that then before making your decision about it. So for this now, your demonstration period will expire in 26 days time. Yes, because I've been using it for the past 3 days. And you know what, you can actually, there's a way you can regenerate the demonstration period as well. Yes, so if it expires after 30 days, you still want to maybe use another day, 30 days again to check again, you can actually regenerate another one within the system. So this, what I'll do here is later, but if I have my registration details now, for you to register, you can register with us. We can help you, we can link you to a business partner. We are not a direct business partner, but we are certified consultants. Aina Olumide is a certified consultant with Sage Pastel, and we can link you to a business partner that we use very well. It's a business partner to Sage itself, so that you can have your license enabled within the system. So I'll click on later for this. Then let's move on to the application. So what the system is trying to do is to load all the logins, the add-ins, and the features that is inbuilt to the Sage 200 evolution. So let's watch this. Why it does this? So it brings up this for you. This screen is actually transaction session date. At every point in time when you are performing a particular task or a particular transaction within an ERP system or Sage Evolution, it will definitely request you to supply a transaction date. That is, you might decide that you want to create an invoice, create a sales order. It is important for you to enter a date. You understand? So now the system is giving you an option that you can actually use the current date, which is the current system date, the dates you are talking, or the date of your system as at now. Look at this date on the system is 28th of December 2023. So by default, because of this date on the system, this is what will appear on use current system date. It's just assuring you that the same current date that is here, should it use it as a default. That is, when you click on invoice, the transaction system date or the transaction date pops up a date automatically, and it pops up this date that you are seeing here. It doesn't mean that you can't change it. You can as well change it or modify it, because definitely it could be that you want to capture backlog dates. So a backlog of transaction, maybe previous day, 2 days ago, and 3 days ago, and you just want to capture that transaction, then you need to select that particular date. You understand? So that is the essence of this. But you can say that, okay, maybe because you want to be able to control the specific date yourself, you want to specify a date so that maybe your users, you believe that they will make mistake in changing the date and all that. So you want to specify a date. You want to be specific. It may not even be on your user's end. It could be that you yourself, you don't take note of when that date comes. You want to do it as a default so that you don't need to start changing at every point when you have logged into the solution. So if you are logged into the solution, this is a date that is going to bring instead of this 28th of December. So you can specify a date. You can just specify a date, and it is that date that comes as default at every point in time. So when you log off the system and you want to try to log in again, it brings up this option for you again. So you can as well change it at every point in time. Now, so this now is revert to system date on log. So if I decide to log off the application, that is exit the Sage Evolution, when I do that, it means that it's going to revert back to the system date here, which is use current system date. It means that this date is going to revert back to. But if I don't tick this, it means because I've chosen specific date, yeah, this is the date that will come on my document again. But like I said earlier, you can still modify at that point of performing that transaction. So now the system is also trying to check if should it prompt this same screen every time, this same transaction session date screen that you are seeing it here. Should it prompt it every time a company is open? That is, when you log off and you're trying to log into the company again or another company, should it bring up this page again next time? That is, when you tick this, it means that you are saying yes, it should bring it up. So prompt if session date is different to current date. That is, if I have specified Maybe I have specified a date before log off. If this date here is actually different from the system date, the system or the application should prompt this login or this session date. It should prompt it out for me. But when I click on never prompt, it means this screen should never come again. You don't need this screen. Maybe it confuses you, and maybe you don't want many screens coming on your face. Then you can decide to click this never prompt. So if after choosing whatever option you want, for me I will just choose it. Whatever option you want, then you click on OK. Okay, so we have it on now. Okay, so now you have, or you are now logged into the Sage 200 evolution. So in the Sage 200 evolution, you can see the screen. You can see this side as a system tree where you have all the modules and the features that you can use to navigate the application. So you can see from here, you can see your general ledger, customers and sales, suppliers and purchases, annuity billing, credit control, contact management, inventory, order entry, procurement, bill of materials, job costing, point of sale, retail point of sale, fixed asset, information alert, mobile office, and so many other things. You can see it from here to here. Why you are seeing this is because it's a demo version. So, and this demo will definitely have all the modules on it. So, but most times what we do is try to listen to client's need, try to see how to optimize the Sage that you currently have, or try to see how we can purchase new license on other features for you. That is what is obtainable at Pinmetrix Limited. Now, from this, if you click on any of these modules, it's going to drop the features for that particular module. So each module is divided into like 4 sessions. Each module is divided to like 4 sessions. We have maintenance, we have transactions, we have inquiries, and we have reports. So those 4 sessions of those 4 this thing is very important for all the modules. So if you go to general ledger, if you click on general ledger, for instance, now you're going to see maintenance. Look at this now. You're going to see, look, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Or you can click here as well to see the divisions. So that maintenance, transactions, inquiries, report. These 4 things are very important for all the modules. So if you click on any of those modules, now it helps you to navigate the application. So every module have these 4 things. So you will see for others, this you can see on general ledger has a visual report, and it also has chart. For other modules, you might not see these 2 things there. That is why I said you will see 4 things that are very important. And what does maintenance do? Maintenance, this is where the features that will allow you to set up things related to general ledger alone. So any activity that you want to set up, just go to your maintenance. So if you can go to customers and sales, and you want to set up, let's say, a customer, you want to create a new customer. So it means that you have to go to customers and sales, then you click on maintenance. Let me try to do that for you. So if I click here now, maintenance, you can see under my maintenance, you can see under customers and sales, you see maintenance, transactions, and inquiries. So clicking on these, for instance, you can see different features. You can see additional charges, aging periods, area, customers, delivery address codes, groups, people, sales reps, settlement terms, transaction types, and all that thing. So your suppliers too is under your customers is under this side, so you can create a new customer at this level. So the same thing too, if you want to create suppliers and purchases, if you come here as well, you are going to see maintenance, transactions, inquiries, and reports. Let me just explain. I've explained that maintenance allows you to make all setups. You can create different setups based on the process that your organization operates on. Then we have transaction. This is the tools that allows you to perform these things that you have already set up. So for instance, if I want to raise an invoice, I would have to go to transactions. So I don't do invoice is a transaction or an activity relating to financial implication, but when it comes to maintenance, it's not going to have invoice. So what are the kind of things that you can see under maintenance? Are the things I've showed you earlier, where you have customers, aging periods, settlement terms, and all that. You're going to have that under maintenance. Then inquiries means that you want to make inquiries on some of these transactions that you have done. You want to drill down a particular transaction or invoice. So let's say you are looking for a particular invoice and you want to be able to say, oh, when was this posted, for what customers, or you are looking at a ledger and you want to drill down the balance on that ledger. So you use your inquiries to do that. So the difference between inquiries and reports is report comes out as an output where you can print it out in hard copy, or you can save it as PDF, you can save it as Excel, CSV, and all that. So you can as well do that for report. So this same thing cuts across all the modules. So this is where I'm going to stop this session for today. So if you want to have these installed on your system, you want to have it installed for your company, you can contact us today. So you are going to see my phone number anywhere around, maybe the description or on this screen. You are going to say, so you can give us a contact, you can give us a call, and as well you can send us an email as well. So you are going to see that as well, my email address and the official email address on the description or on this screen. So thank you and bye.